So if we get an inspector looking at it, we don't want them going, ugh, and we put a bunch of time into it. So, yeah.
I think he's going to make that face anyway.
Man, that seems a little bit too janky.
Is there such a thing?
Absolutely.
That is awesome.
It's cooked. You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, it's cooked. I mean, it's making working noises, but it's.
How did you do that? Today on Cars and Cameras, we're making our 2003 Honda 919 street legal again, except this time with a twist. It's powered by a 225cc Tillotson engine, basically a glorified lawnmower engine. So even though the bike runs, there's a lot that has to get done between now and safety inspection and a road test, like lighting, charging system. We got to put brake pads in it, and we need to change the gearing. We hit a top speed of 40 miles an hour at 8,000 RPMs. That is not going to work if we want to road trip this thing to a bike show. So let's get started with the gear change, and by the end of the episode, hopefully be riding on the road.
Oh, perfect.
So the easiest sprocket to change is right there, and we're going from a 36 to a 26. So huge difference.
Yeah. First try. It rewarded me after hitting my head. So we're going to shorten this chain after putting the smaller gear on, and let's see. Yeah, let me get my Allen wrenches so we can get the set screws out. So that is quite the difference.
Yep. This thing was already a dog off the line, but
now it's really going to be.
Now it's really going to be a dog.
There we go. It's that easy. Perfect. And we're going to put it on the outside this time, right?
Yeah.
Look. It's doing a reverse burnout.
It's tight.
Yeah.
Well, it's that time again, isn't it, guys?
Wiring.
Wire time. We always hit this point in a major project where we have to print out a wiring harness and adapt our wiring to factory stuff in this case.
Did you see the deer in the headlights?
Yeah, the way both of you guys looked up was great. So these 225s don't come with charging systems, and usually the charging system on a 196 or Honda Clone isn't that great anyway. So in order to run horn, turn signals, lights, running lights, all that stuff, we need
that bad boy.
Alternator. That's right. So this is actually off of a John Deere, I believe. Some kind of John Deere. Our buddy Stranus Custom sent me a link to this thing. I'll link it in the description if you want to check it out. We got to figure out where we want to mount it, though.
Because it's definitely making us think on this one, for sure. Because we've got our feet going there. We don't want it interfering, belt stuff. But we're thinking somewhere around something like that. V-belt, of course, and the pivot point be there. We'd like it a little bit further in, but the chain's in the way. We want this for longevity. We want proper V-belt pulleys. We're not trying to run it off the crankshaft. I know it'll work for an off-road rig, but we want this.
We're road tripping,
yeah,
brother.
We want this road trip, street legal, that sort of thing. I mean, and so if we get an inspector looking at it, we don't want them going, ugh, and we put a bunch of time into it. So, yeah.
I think he's going to make that face anyway, but he's going to pass it.
Yes.
Oh, right in the nick of time.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, you're wearing a shirt this time, I see.
Yeah.
So, here's what we got, man. Let me see if I can turn this camera around.
Alright.
So, the most appealing idea we have, sitting on top of the engine, is kind of the best idea, but that means that this pulley is going to have to get basically welded to the darn clutch.
Yeah.
You're shooting that idea down, really?
What?
I thought you'd be all for that, man.
Are you kidding?
No.
You're crazy.
What do you mean?
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
It's
man.
like this FaceTime gives him like different kind of wisdom.
Yeah, who are you?
Who are you?
What? So what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't see any other way to put this thing.
Man, that seems a little bit too janky.
Is there such a thing?
Absolutely.
I just don't see where else this thing is gonna go unless we want the alternator like almost dragging on the ground.
No. Absolutely not. You see, there's just a tiny bit of crankshaft sticking out.
I mean, like, yeah.
Like an eighth of an inch or less.
Line up that pulley, and you just bolt it up real tight.
Oh, all right. Charles suggested that, and I shot him down. I didn't think that. I thought that would be slipping real bad.
No, it'll be fine.
All right.
Another thing you could do possibly is you can move that clutch out and run the pulley on the backside.
Yeah, I guess we could. This thing is pretty wide, though.
I'd be trimming it.
Yeah,
To make it
for sure.
And then you'd have to turn the sprocket around on the jack shaft.
Yeah.
I guess that's an option. Once we get a 3/4 pulley, we can see which way is the best.
What do we got, buddy?
Well, we've got us a V-belt pulley and a 3/4 adapter, like hub. Yeah. We're gonna try and center it up. We're gonna trim this down and get it somewhere a little bit closer, somewhere around in there, so we can keep this alternator in the frame. And we're gonna build some pivot points here and another pivot point here for an adjustment, so we can tension it up and down like that. Got some belts somewhere, but don't worry about that. It'll be fine.
Cool. Let's do it. All right, man. The alternator's tacked in.
Yeah.
Go ahead and pull it over and.
Belts tension.
Yep.
Let's see. All right, ignition is off.
That is awesome. Is it a lot harder to pull over or not really? Good. Well, we need to figure out how we're gonna hook up our voltage regulator.
That is true.
And then keep it moving, dude.
Yeah,
We're gonna have a charging system. The alternator's hooked up. It's tensioned. The Crossfire Pro is just a beast of a piece of machinery, man. Cut that out. Charles welded it in. Looks great.
It looks professional.
Yeah, that's right. About to test the alternator to make sure it works, and then we're gonna worry about voltage regulator, which has been fun because there's no wiring diagram with it.
Oh boy.
Huh.
That was on camera. I know our facial expressions are. But
Dude, I think this thing just got cooked.
it's okay. Don't worry about it. It was free.
I'm so sorry.
We saw sparks go through the screen.
Yeah.
It's a digital screen, and literally sparks jumped across it.
Huh.
I do.
That's funny. It smelled funny too for a second there.
The alternator is still cold, so.
So is it just not being driven fast enough?
Either that or it needs the regulator put on it.
Alright, well, yeah, we need to put the regulator on anyway, so let's just wire it up.
Yeah,
and
let's
then
get to wiring.
Test it again. I'm so sorry, man.
No, don't worry
That
about
was pretty hilarious, though.
I think it might still work. We can test it on that battery.
I don't know.
It definitely cooked. Leave a comment down below if you know what that is.
Looks like the flux capacitor.
Yeah.
It's cooked.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, it's cooked.
Alright, so I was visiting Kevin for a few days, and I have not seen the completed wiring on the 225. So what do you got, man? Show me.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to show on the wiring. It's just, you know, we went from headlight
Yep.
to taillight, and Charles put it in, what's that corrugated tubing called? Corrugated tubing. Made it look all nice.
Wire loom.
Wire loom.
Wire
Thank you.
loom.
So Charles put it in the wire loom, and I wired up. The funny part is the turn signal relays. Okay, and the easier thing to do was for me to wire it up on the ground side of the turn signal relays. I was like, it'll be fine. It's got an interesting characteristic.
Okay.
I don't understand how it's done it, but it's doing it. Now, the turn signals, they're on separate circuits altogether. The only way they join is somewhere on the turn signal switch, which should be completely separate. And I think that's, and the battery, you know, it's pulling the same. Let me just show you. It's kind of cool, but it's like really weird. Like, how is this happening? So I realized I should have wired it up on the hot side.
Okay.
I'll just have
Just
to
make sure the battery's hooked up. I unhooked it last night.
I hooked it up.
Okay.
Yeah. So key on, headlights work.
Sweet.
Taillights work.
Taillights work.
High beam, and low beam.
Woo! Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. So here. Oh yeah, high beam, low beam. Look.
Oh, you guys went above and beyond.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
All right, but here's the turn signals.
Wait, hold on. Why is it working?
It's working.
Because yesterday it was giving us.
Let me try the right.
Yeah, hold on. Don't. We don't want to go too. Yep, there we go.
There.
Nope.
It's still left.
All right, hold on. Right.
That's still left.
It's still left. So now we have a different gremlin.
What?
I mean, it's making working noises, but it's
How did you do that?
it's because I was
Left.
here.
That is hilarious.
Oh boy.
It's worse now.
And it's so funny.
Oh my God.
Because both flashers are going off. Both,
Yeah, you can hear them both
cylinders are
clicking.
All right, so that's really weird because they're on completely separate circuits. I have two turn signal relays, two completely separate wires going to. Why? Why is it doing this?
Really makes you scratch your head. Quite
Yeah.
literally.
So if I unplug one, everything's normal.
Party light mode or something.
It's party
Yeah,
mode.
the Tyrannus
And
guys
I-
will like that.
Okay, so you see what it's doing. I'm going to unplug this one, and then everything will be normal.
Ike managed to figure out the turn signal wiring, so we have tags, we have registration, we have insurance, we are all ready for a test drive. I'm going to be on my 74 Honda CT70, riding with Charles, and Ike is going to be in a chase vehicle, and we're going to head down the road and see how the bike does in preparation for our road trip.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go fast.
Good luck, buddy.
Yeah.
Voyage, Dre.
Yeah, man. Let's see if I can get this bad boy to start. Oh. Oh yeah.
doing 55. Slowing down though. This is not a top speed run, but I feel like all of a sudden it just became a top speed run. 55, 60, not bad, not bad.
Yeah, I saw 8,000 RPM.
You were doing 60.
Were we really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Was it down the hill you saw 8 grand?
Yeah. Yeah. And then when we started climbing back up the hill, it was 7.
So, I mean, y'all have been doing a right steady like 50 miles per hour.
Yeah. We gotta do some header wrap on that. My leg is
A little toasty.
What
Yeah.
was your kind of estimated butt dyno at 50 RPM?
at 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, what do you reckon? You have any idea?
I'm thinking maybe like 5,500, 6,000 RPM.
I mean, you got the RPM gauge up
Yeah.
there.
No, I was looking at it, but I don't have a mile per hour gauge
Yeah.
except in my pocket.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'd have to like stay behind him and him do like 3, 5, 5, 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did blow a little bit of oil out of the valve cover.
Probably because of the 8 grand
A
for
lot of RPM.
Well,
For a long
and
time.
we can do either a catch can and a recirculation tube back to the crankcase.
Or we just stick around 50, 55 miles per hour.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't want to push any more oil out of it.
Well, again, I'll do 50 on the way home, and we'll see if there's more oil.
Yeah.
Are you gonna ride it, John?
Yeah, I'll ride it. That cool, Charles?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Well, then you cruise at 50,
Okay.
and I'll let you know what the RPM is, man. Wow, this is a different bike.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
This is not a Honda 70.
No, it's not.
This is huge.
I like your flames on your exhaust.
Oh,
man.
thanks, man. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's heavy, but I mean not extremely.
All right. Here we go. Oh, this is nice. This is wicked. About 6,400 RPM. All right. There we go. It's locked in.
How much fun these little bikes are.
Yeah, they're so much fun, dude. You're right. That is hot, my man.
You can feel it, can't
Yeah.
you? Oh. We lost.
Oh, we lost a nut.
We lost the nut. Good thing we had a tight Allen bolt on there.
Okay, so the exhaust got an exhaust leak.
Yeah, exhaust leak there.
Okay,
But
That might be why I was burning up our legs so bad.
so your legs got pretty hot too.
yeah. If my pant leg was wet on the start of the trip, it would have been dry. after.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
All right, what'd you think, John?
It's really comfortable.
Uh-huh.
It actually has decent pickup from like 3,000 RPM up to like 65 or 7.
But you
Like,
got a
like the passing
Passing speed.
area.
Yeah, but that one stoplight.
it was struggling.
Oh yeah, it was struggling.
Okay.
That being said, you think it's safe to cruise this thing at like 6,400 RPM? That's what 50 miles an hour was.
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I have one more thing to add to this episode. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering why we aren't using a torque converter with the Juggernaut as opposed to the clutch that we opted for. There's no like proven science on this because no one has really done it before, but my theory is that a clutch is going to be better for long distance traveling because once the clutch locks in at 2,500, 3,000 RPM, it has no more slip and there's a lot less driveline loss than a torque converter, which always has some kind of belt slip and a little bit more driveline loss. When we were in Oregon a few years ago on our 100-mile mini bike race with Go Power Sports, we shredded 1 belt and close to 2 by the end of the race over 100 miles. So that's why I wanted to experiment with a clutch. Of course, the low-end acceleration is a lot worse than a CVT, but my theory was that a clutch would hold up better as long as we're maintaining a constant 40, 50 mile an hour speed. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.